Radio 470 AM. It is game day, people, and I have never felt this kind of electricity.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Oh man, it is our last party of the weekend. Welcome to the final 10 drink minimum on a Sunday. I am your host, Chris Burnett of the 10 Drink Minimum Show, and it is one Hollyanne Bird's final 10 drink minimum show.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Before we get into the craziness, Smiley made it. That's why we're late, because Smiley was late.
Sorry about that. I picked the wrong app.
And I keep telling you.
Even my driver told me.
Even the driver.
Well, you should have used the other one.
Mm-hmm. So today's show is sponsored by the Finnish Long Drink. And we are all partaking. I have the cranberry.
Yeah.
Yum.
It's super good.
Yummy. Try it. It's made with gin. So here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. Are you ready for this?
I'm not ready for it.
I have a couple of drops for you.
Oh, no.
Are you ready for them?
I think so.
Let's get your reaction video. Okay, yeah.
No. Oh, God.
Do you want to hear the next one?
No.
That just reminds me of sad puppies.
How about the next one?
Oh, God. I already. I'm like bracing myself for it.
I just made 3 separate drops, literally. Like one of them is just literally.
Do
you like that?
I love it.
I was like, well, I can't do the one for her because she'll be expecting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's 4 years. Is that right?
4 years. 4 years on the 22nd.
Man.
So that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
4
Wow.
years. Yep.
Jeez.
It doesn't feel that long.
No, it feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah. But then it also feels like a lifetime in the best
Yeah.
way. You know, like I feel like I've known you guys for
Right.
a while.
Yeah. Because like it was supposed to be last Sunday, but we had guests on, and I was like, I don't want to end your time here. That's not fair to you. We're like talking about fashion, and Smiley's like grandstanding with his fashion knowledge.
That was a great show. I had a blast.
I'm sure you did. It was fun though.
It was fun. They were fun.
They were fun. But so here we are, 4 years.
4 years.
And it was, I remember, you were at the press club and you're like, hey, can I do 10 drink minimum sometime?
Yeah.
And you came on. Oh, and then I think Billy even brought it up before you came on that maybe, because we'd lost Michael on the show. And we needed the kind of someone to balance out all the, the manliness, I guess,
The
going on.
testosterone.
Which I don't really even think we have that. I mean, Smiley's not, look at Smiley.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like,
that guy's his testosterone. He's like, Smiley, full throttle.
I just bro it up. That's me. Like,
like,
all the way around. I'm like, let's talk about fashion.
He's like, you guys like Bang energy drinks and hot ladies. That's Smiley when he comes in all the time.
All the time.
So then, you came and did the show on Rosemont, and then I was like, okay, I could see it now,
Yeah.
And we added you on the show.
Yeah.
Well, did you know this when you came on that was your
No.
interview?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. I came on as a guest, and I remember being so nervous, and I was like, oh God, like, I don't know. And then I had so much fun. And then you guys were like, hey, do you want to come back next week? And I was like, okay. and then that was it. That was the show where oh no, don't do it. Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just waiting for you to play the one.
Mm.
But no, that was the show where I talked about working at the strip club.
Yeah.
And I just remember that so many of my friends didn't even know I worked there, and they had watched and or listened to the show, and they were like, what the fuck? Like, I had no idea that you worked there.
Yeah. Why?
You just went all in on the first episode. We're all nice. You were hired.
Right.
Well, I figured, I might as well, share my best stuff. I didn't even know it was my interview. I was just like, I have an opportunity.
And I was just like, man.
Chris told me right before the show. It's like, all right. So our guest Holly, this is her interview. So you tell me what you think.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is weird because Smiley really, his interview was just accidental. So he just
they're all, hey, do you want a mic?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
We have an extra one today.
He was like,
you could be on mic.
He was like our Paul Schaefer. Like, what do you think of that? And he's just like, yeah. That's great. Real great. Great stuff, Dave. That's like Paul Schaefer sometime, right?
Yeah, like all the time.
All the time. Dave's shy. That was Smiley though.
I always thought I was more like the musical guy on the Carson show though, because there was
Doc Severinsen.
Well, I always thought it was the Doc Severinsen because they like and over to Doc and be like, hey, what's up? And he's like says 3 words and like.
Yeah. Well, you're the musical guy on the Letterman show more of. I would say because you were cool. I don't think I never looked at Doc Severn and what was Severinsen? Severance pay? I don't know something. And
I guess I'm just equating
cool. He's a cool guy.
I'm just equating it to the late night shows that I grew up with. So I watched Carson.
You didn't watch Letterman?
No.
I always thought Carson was for old people. Letterman was the cooler one.
I just started watching Carson. Yeah. I found it on Peacock.
Really?
And I was like, I need to watch this.
Really?
And I don't know, he's a legend. And he,
I don't disagree on that.
A lot of comedians got their start on Carson. That was like how you knew you had leveled up.
Yeah, because if you got
time. Oh, yeah, if you got the couch.
But it became a thing where later on, if you were a stand-up comedian, you wanted to do Letterman.
Yeah.
Letterman was the stand-up play, like
Well, and I grew up watching Letterman. I like Letterman's new show on Netflix.
Right.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
It's so good. He's such a good interviewer.
Right.
Like he asks some questions sometimes that
he's good at 2 things. He's good at interviewing, and then like later, Conan O'Brien kind of perfected this as well. The awkwardness.
Yes.
Like he would bring up the elephant in the room kind of as awkwardly as possible.
Well, yeah, because I think it makes your guest feel comfortable. I mean, it kind of makes you laugh, and then you're like, well, fuck, I guess I'll talk about it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So I got to crazy thing. I got to do terrestrial radio on Friday.
Yes, you did.
Did either of you listen in?
I caught some of it, but then Ian started screaming, so I couldn't hear.
It's such a interesting, because you always think like, well, you should be able to, move across, easily. Well, he's like, our friend Buck, who's owns the Speakeasy downtown and El Rey Liquor Store. He used to be a big radio guy, and he's like, hey, you want to come help me fill in for TJ Trout Friday from 3 to 6, and we're going to interview Pat Davis from the city council. And, at first I'm like, wow, 3 hours. 3 hours is a long time.
Yeah.
This show is 2 hours. And I'll tell you this, it's different. Like, because here's what happens. You don't ever, because when you hear the 3 hours, especially doing this, you think, holy shit, that's a long time.
Yeah. It's
really only like 40 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes of actual.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of ads.
Oh my God. Yeah. So the thing is you start, they'll tell you when you're starting, and you always have a guy in your ear, not always, But like you have a guy in your ear, a producer. Like it's really interesting to work with a producer because they're in your ear and they're like, when you're coming back from a commercial break, they're like, you got 4 minutes, and that's what you hear in your headphone.
Mhm.
Did you hear that? Like, but
Very,
one loud,
yeah.
right? One loud. And then you're sitting there like talking about, what conditioner to use in your hair, and all of a sudden you hear 20 seconds to commercial, and then you're like, and it's just in your ear, and then you kind of like look and nod at them, and then you're like, well, Prel seems to be the one. We're gonna go to commercial, and we'll be right back here in a little while. 99.3 KKOB. And then then you take your headphones off, and for like 9 commercials in a row, you sit there and you're like just talking off the air. There's so much downtime, it's like insane, right? And then all of a sudden you hear 20 seconds, come back. And then you're like, and so then you put your headphones on real quick and kind of start finishing every thought, and then all of a sudden it's all call us today, and then you're like, we're back 99.3 KKOB. The weather. It's really interesting. It's crazy. But they did ask something. They did say something. We did talk about something on the show that I was like, okay, maybe we can pull that over on Tendrick on Sunday. So apparently, I did apparently, have you guys heard about this? You guys heard about this?
No.
That's my good radio. Apparently, Ticketmaster has they have this new pricing plan. It's a dynamic pricing plan, right? And because of it, the tickets for Bruce Springsteen are averaging $1,000 to $5,000 per ticket.
Really?
Yeah. So imagine, and here's the other thing. What do you think what do they call the fees? The
service fees.
Service fee. What do you think the service fee is on $1,000 Bruce Springsteen ticket?
Oh, I can only imagine, like $500.
It's $500.
Yeah.
So for $1,500 to go see Bruce Springsteen.
Ticket prices are going up everywhere, but there was a guy that we saw. I can't pronounce his last. I don't want to say his name, but we saw him on Netflix. We thought he was funny, and then Jason saw that he was coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
And the shitty seats are like $60.
Wow.
And then the seats like in the middle of Kiva Auditorium are like $120.
Yeah.
This is not Dave Chappelle. This is not anybody anyone knows. And I'm like, and my friends complain about $10.
$10. and it's like you have the Shins are coming back to town.
Oh,
the cheapest ticket. Are we not on live? The cheapest ticket. Let me make sure we're on live. For the Shins is $60.
Wow.
And I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man.
I mean, I get it. Like, artists deserve to be paid what they deserve, but how much of that money is really going to the entertainer?
Well,
for the shade. Yeah.
Well, for one thing, like the Kiva, like as a venue, is kind of more expensive anyway.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a concert venue. Like they have to like hire people just to open it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that.
You say the Kiva or the Chemo?
The Kiva.
The Kiva is the big auditorium in Civic Plaza.
Oh.
Civic Center. You're thinking of the Chemo.
I'm thinking of the Chemo.
No, at the Kiva. And I don't know. I as a stand-up comedian, I never want to be like, it's not worth it to pay that money, but it just seems kind of crazy to me to pay that much money. What I
don't get is like there's all these like comedians come through. Where are they posting the because everybody's like, oh, we went and saw Bert Kreischer, and I was like, when was he here? I had no idea.
Yeah, I think usually, I mean, I'll tell you, Bert Kreischer does it on his like Instagram and his podcast and things like that, but I think like it's all the algorithms. I think, like Jason.
I'm not getting those at all.
Jason gets ads for comedians all the time, and I don't, which I think is weird because that's all I look at. But I don't know. Like even like Whitney Cummings, her tour dates, it's like you have to like actually be looking for it. But we don't see like posters or billboards or none of that.
No, I no. So I don't know. Now, here's the question that was asked on the radio. I'm stealing this from them. Totally no, totally fine. I'm stealing it. And think about this. You don't have to come up with it right away. But if it's $1,000 to see Bruce Springsteen,
Yeah.
who would you pay? I mean, this is if you have, I mean, like say you have the money, say you're, you're independently wealthy, you're doing just fine. Who would you pay $1,000 to go see? You don't have to come up with it right away.
Like
I had mine right, and they could be living or dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
New Order.
Wow.
I would go see New Order.
New Order. Is that the How Does It Feel? Those people? No.
Bizarre Love Triangle. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Oh man,
That's a right away. That was a real fast answer, Smiley.
It's one of the only bands that I love that I have not seen,
Oh wow.
and I would pay $1,000 to see them for sure.
so it can be living or dead.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be, I don't know, maybe unpopular.
Radio.
Oh god.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
I think I would see Johnny Cash, no questions asked.
Johnny Cash came up. I brought him up.
I just can't imagine spending $1,000 seeing anybody else.
But this is where you've got unlimited. You're doing good.
Yeah, I mean,
you're living up off Tramway and Paseo. You're
I still just, even with a bunch of money, I mean, I don't know, maybe, but I just off the top of my head, if I had to think of somebody, I would. Now, if we're talking comedy, George Carlin.
No, there you go. See, I didn't say music.
Yeah.
But I said if you can see anybody.
Oh, if I could see anybody, it's a tie between
Oh.
George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, and Pryor. Like if that was a lineup, I would pay $10,000 to go see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
right?
know?
Oh my goodness. That's kind of like the kings of comedy.
Here's my retirement.
Yeah,
Right,
take
right.
all my money.
Money well spent.
Right.
Well, after watching that documentary on HBO, which I think I'm going to watch it again.
Oh, I've watched it like 4 times.
I really feel like, I mean, Lenny Bruce had his place. He did a lot of great things for comedy, but I just really feel like he's not close to Carlin.
No.
Carlin was, but Lenny Bruce was great.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would be entertaining. I think he would be a master class in not giving a fuck.
Right.
But Carlin, oh my God, like he's just genius. There's nobody that can be compared to Carlin.
When they're talking to Bill Burr, and he's like, we went to go see him as a goof.
Yeah.
We're like, we're going to see this old man who's well past his prime, and he's going to be doing the old bits. And Carlin got up there and just slayed it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was just blown away, and it's like, unbelievable. That documentary, it's 2 parts.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
I've watched it so many times.
Man.
And I think Carlin and Richard Pryor, to me, are the icons.
Mm-hmm.
Pryor, just like his life story is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And if you don't know anything about Richard Pryor, like go educate yourself.
Right. Yeah.
You can't call yourself a comedy fan if you don't know who Richard Pryor is. I met a comedian who didn't know who Richard Pryor was.
That's that guy needs to,
and
that person needs to never be on the stage again.
I was like, oh, that explains a whole lot.
That explains why you suck.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And I don't even know if they suck, but
I mean, they didn't suck, but they weren't great.
You suck, but
I don't know. A friend of mine and I were talking about this. It was Kurt and I. We talk a lot on our way to the open mic and on our way home. And we were talking about how they just don't make comedians like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like even the good comedians are not like that.
Here's the thing that made me wonder about Carlin. It's like, even as he was getting older, how do you remember all of that stuff? Because he like Jay Moore said about Carlin, he didn't tell jokes, he wrote essays.
Yeah.
And how can you remember that entire thing? I mean, that is insane in its own.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a lot of time, when you do comedy, a lot of there's different comedians, and like some will like literally like write every single thing out, have the cadence, have it going. They've memorized it.
Right.
Or there's some that just have the bullet points and they just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
I do bullet points. Yeah. And I also kind of take a journey when I do. And so like every time I tell the same joke, it's a little different every show. But I think like the thing about Carlin is, if you think about the cuss word thing.
Yeah. The 7 dirty words.
The 7 dirty words.
Which he got arrested for.
which he got arrested for, and is what created the FCC laws,
Yeah.
by the way. But like that would not have worked if he had not said it in the cadence that he said it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I think it becomes muscle memory after a while because stand-ups hate to like show how the sausage is made, but we tell our jokes probably 100 times before it even would be recorded anywhere. Right. So I don't know. I think he was just a genius, to be honest, because I do long form jokes and I used to write I actually thought about getting a notepad tattooed on my left arm.
That's funny.
Because I would write little, like just one keyword that I could look at when I first started. But I don't really do that anymore. I don't know if it's like I don't give a fuck anymore or if it's, I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow now.
You got the skill.
I mean,
I can do this. I got it.
I hope so. I hope that's what it is.
I don't need to tattoo this on my arm.
Right.
This isn't memento.
I always thought the one thing I think would be funny is to get a little box tattooed on your wrist where they stamp you for shows.
Right. Please stamp here.
Please stamp here. I think that would be funny. And somebody's probably going to steal that, but it's probably already been done. But
yeah,
I don't know. Try to get us some people in the chat room here. But that's a good one. Carlin is a good one. You know who I said, and it was really interesting that it was met with like,
oh yeah, who's your $1,000 ticket?
I said either the Beatles,
okay,
or Nirvana.
Oh, like yeah,
there are two bands.
Kurt Cobain.
Two bands that have impacted my life quite a bit. I was showing my lady friend the documentary Sound City. She's a big music person, much like myself, and she had not seen Sound City. And it's always interesting to me when you have an item or a place, and if it didn't exist, so many things would not have happened from that thing. Have you watched Sound City?
I have, yes.
Yeah. Have you watched that, Smiley?
I have not.
It's pretty interesting because it's all about this, like, really the documentary is about this soundboard that this guy custom built for the studio. So it had a very specific sound. And the first people that recorded there was Buckingham Nicks. It was and it was a flop album. The album, was a flop. And Mick Fleetwood, when he was looking for a studio to record in, you go and they'll play a sample of something recorded there, and then you go to another one, and then you figure out which one you like the sound from. So when he went to that studio, they played him that Buckingham Nicks, and he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then he left, and then the original group of Fleetwood Mac broke up. They lost their guitarist, so he called that studio, and they're like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "Yeah, I need to know who that guitar player is that was on that album." And then they're like, "Oh, if you want him though, bad news. You're gonna have to take his girlfriend as well."
Right.
And therefore, Stevie Nicks and Mick Fleetwood and Lindsey Buckingham joined Fleetwood Mac. They recorded Rumors at that studio, and then on that, if you watch that documentary, they just started showing every album that was like recorded there and was a hit. And it's like the history of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And like through the 70s, it's like this. It's this amazing like. Who's who of rock and roll. Then in the 80s, it slowed down because everybody started going digital.
Right.
And then Nirvana went there and recorded Nevermind. And then like every like big group, like all the Rage Against the Machine records were recorded there. All the Slayer records were recorded there. All the Nine Inch Nails records were recorded there, unless they were recorded by him in his own studio. And Johnny Cash, like all those records, those final, and it's just like, holy shit, And they show all the records on the wall. It's nuts.
It's nuts.
So, hold on. And then at the end of the documentary, Dave Grohl has the board taken out of the studio and they move it to his house.
Oh, yeah.
And he starts bringing in all those artists to make a soundtrack for this documentary. And of course, the very end of it, the band Nirvana reforms. Chris Novoselic, Pat Smear, Dave Grohl on drums. Well, they don't have a lead singer. So they bring in Paul McCartney to sing lead on fucking Nirvana. And I'm like, what in the fuck?
What just happened?
Can you imagine? You were in the 90s, you were in like one of the largest rock bands in the world, and then your lead singer, kills himself, so you're kind of defunct at that point. Then you have a great career after that. But then when you reform the band, you bring one of the greatest rock and roll musicians of all time. Like
it's nuts.
At a certain point, Dave Grohl has to be like, what kind of
What
life
is
do I live?
life?
Yeah, what kind of life do I live? But I feel like that would be my $1,000.
Now I want to. I would pay $1,000 to see Nirvana with Paul McCartney as lead singer.
They did a couple shows.
I would go see that.
And then someone on the radio brought up Queen with Freddie Mercury.
Oh.
And I was like, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Johnny Cash I brought up, and people were like, oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this. I saw Johnny Cash when I was a little boy. I had no idea. My parents took me. No idea.
That's so cool.
Right? So I saw Johnny Cash, but I don't recall.
I met somebody the other day. So my son has 2 Johnny Cash t-shirts because people gift them all the time to him.
Oh.
They're all here. You're going to need this.
Yeah, you're going to need it. And the other day I took him we were like at Target or Walmart or something. And somebody was like, who the fuck still likes Johnny Cash?
Oh,
and
fuck.
I was like,
someone said that at a Target?
Yeah, just a stranger.
Not
and
some
I was
Walmart
like,
piece of shit.
I was like,
no, Walmart
everybody
people love Johnny Cash.
Yeah, right.
Right. You're right. It's true. Walmart people love Johnny Cash.
Right.
You would never hear that in a Walmart. Like someone would like fly across the aisle and punch you.
Right.
You'd probably get murdered. That is a very fucking good point, Smiley. No one at a Walmart would not like that. Cara Johnson says, I'm here for Holly.
Aww.
Holly, kisses, loves, and hugs and kisses.
Oh, hi, Cara.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
I love Cara.
It's Hollyanne's final show.
It is. Oh, God. This is just... At least you're not playing the other song.
Not yet.
Because that one's going to kill me.
Not yet.
I
just think this one's funny. But the real big question is...
Yeah. How could I forget?
And also...
Oh my goodness. I can't.
So I worked at this job in IT, and we were in one of those dungeons,
Yeah.
and there was like 3 of us, and we fought really hard through a lot of like adversity, and for like 2 years, and we really bonded. We would eat lunch together. We would hang out together outside of work. And finally, like a lead job came up, so I took it.
Yeah.
In my last week there, I would just be randomly in my cubicle, and I would play music for everybody. If like to get the morale up sometimes, and just randomly, whenever I was in the very last week, I'd just be sitting there, and you'd hear just blast out of the cubicle.
Oh my God.
And they would all just start laughing.
Fun story. When I was a kid, I loved Sarah McLachlan, like a lot.
Yeah.
My cousin,
which is weird because you hate dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
That's me.
That's Smiley. Smiley's a weirdo.
Which is
that
weird
doesn't
because
like
my
dogs.
dog loves Smiley.
That's how it goes, though.
She can feel my lack of interest in her, so she
No.
has to compensate.
Yeah.
Well,
She's trying to win him over.
yeah.
No, when I was like 7, my cousin passed away. We were the same age, and somebody like gave me a Sarah McLachlan CD,
Oh God.
and I would just listen to it. And then I got to go to Lilith Fair, and
Oh, really?
and my mom decided to go, and then she, oh my God, this is one of my favorite stories. So, Lilith Fair, if you're not aware,
Was amazing.
amazing, but also like the Indigo Girls were there,
Yeah.
like all these people, and it was a great
what was her name with the blonde hair?
Jewel.
No. Go something my window.
Oh my God,
What was her name?
I loved
I'll
her.
pull this up.
That's gonna bother me if I don't think of it before.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, she was amazing.
You will when I say it. Somebody in the audience, come on.
Oh, come
God,
to
what's
my
her-
window.
Come to my window.
I can like hear her voice, see her face. Oh yeah, Sheryl Crow is there.
Is it? It's not Meredith Brooks. No.
No, she's great too, though.
Oh, this was in '99. Maybe she wasn't at that one.
Oh, some Fiona Apple.
Oh,
Nice.
Fiona
I'll just type
Apple.
it.
What
Maybe.
is her
Melissa
name?
Etheridge.
Melissa.
Oh, you're talking about
Etheridge.
Melissa Etheridge? Oh my
Yes.
god, and
Yeah.
you went for that song?
I mean,
Was that not the big one?
that was the big one.
What was a bigger Melissa Etheridge song?
Oh, like there isn't. She has the one about like walking in her shoes and fucking walking down the road. All right.
I have no idea. I mean, I didn't know you were such a Melissa Etheridge fan.
I am.
Did she shave all her
She's
hair
great.
off?
Well, she had cancer at one point. I
Oh,
think.
okay. Oh, well then, yeah. Okay.
So it probably just fell out.
Jesus, Smiley.
I mean,
Well, I'm.
Yeah,
fair.
fair enough. As cool as you try. I don't know. That "Come to My Window" song is the one I know.
Yeah, no, she's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was great show, right? Great lineup. My mom was like, "This will be a great thing. It's like an
Mhm.
outdoor thing. It's women empowerment." What she did not realize is that there was an undertone of lesbianism,
Yep.
which is fine.
Which is fine.
But this lady was being really nice to my mom and I because
Oh.
it started raining.
Oh boy.
And she bought my mom drinks and she like all kinds of stuff. And I guess my mom hadn't like mentioned my dad. Like we weren't really talking, like we were at a concert.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, my mom like gave her like her information to be like, "Oh, we could totally hang out." And she accidentally went on a date with that lady.
Oh man. So I met a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
And I could see how that could happen because
Oh, yeah.
as a mom,
Mhm.
you get a little isolated. And,
Yeah.
if somebody's nice, you're like, oh, you're talking about work stories. And you brought up Lindsay Buckingham,
Mhm.
one of my favorite. Oh, I love her.
She'll be at the Santa Fe Opera
We
House
should
on September
go.
22nd. Cara Johnson says.
Maybe I could have a reunion with my
Mhm.
almost stepmom.
so,
So, I used to work at a dental lab, and there was a guy that worked there. I can't remember his name, but he looked exactly like Lindsay Buckingham.
oh wow.
Like 100% looked exactly like him. And he hated any reference to it because I guess like
We got
his
it all
whole
the time.
life.
Yeah.
So I ended up working like kind of across from him, and he would be like working on dentures and I'd be like packing up bags, and I'd be like, "Hey," so the first day I met him, I was like, "Hey, have you ever been told you look like," and he goes, "Don't say Lindsay Buckingham." And I was like, "Yeah, Lindsay Buckingham." And he's like, "I hate Fleetwood Mac."
Yeah.
And he was such a mean person. Like
Fleetwood
he was
Mac
just
kicks ass, dude.
he was
I'm
just
sorry.
like a grumpy person. So I brought in a little radio and I would always play Fleetwood Mac. And then I printed out a bunch of 8x10s of Lindsay
Oh
Buckingham
man.
and I would slide them onto his desk
And he later killed
every day.
himself. Oh,
No, I got fired.
really? Because of that?
Yeah.
Seriously?
What?
Yeah. They did not like my antics.
Holly, your shenanigans have put everybody here on edge. And
He said he felt bullied.
we've had. Oh well, okay.
And I was like, I wasn't trying to bully you. I was just trying to
Yeah.
make
Really?
you
Because
laugh.
I mean, that sounded like bullying. But,
It was in fun.
you can get fired for that?
Yeah.
That's
I guess.
wrong. That guy's a bitch.
I'm like, it's not my fault he has horrible taste
He's
in music.
Lindsay Bitchingham. What a bitch. No,
That's
Tintering Minimum does not condone bullying in any way, shape, or form.
Apparently, only if you don't know that you're doing it.
Sorry, that was an accident.
Unintentional bullying is okay.
I mean,
It's a funny joke.
I thought it was fun. But
Right.
apparently he was actually very sensitive about the issue.
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
I was just,
Sorry, you look like Grammy award
I
winning
know.
Lindsay Buckingham.
I'm like, who hates
who did
Fleetwood Mac?
who did he used to bang? Oh, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, I mean, but let's also talk about he like cheated on her. So.
Oh, well, that's also
Well,
crazy.
they cheated on each other, I think.
Yeah,
I think is the thing.
she is one of those like ladies that like I don't know if there's work done there, but she just doesn't seem
She
to
looks
never not
great.
look like she's at that moment where you're like, well, if I was her age, I definitely would.
She's beautiful. She was
Yeah.
in American Horror Story, the season with the witches.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not really her. And then I was like, holy shit, that's really her. She
Right.
looks amazing.
Yeah. I mean, some of the people of that era
Don't look great.
didn't look, they didn't, yeah. They
And
didn't-
if she got
yeah.
work done, it was like good
work,
you
yes.
know?
Good doctor. Because I was watching that show 1883,
Uh-huh.
and it's Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, and what's his name though? Marlboro Man, basically.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah, there you go, Sam Elliott.
He's my
So,
number one crush. Probably.
I'm watching this show and I'm like, how in the fuck did Faith Hill age that badly?
Yeah.
It's Faith Hill's, but she didn't. They just make her look
Yeah.
awful in that show. And I'm like, whoever did that,
I know.
they should win the award. Because I was like,
I saw
wow.
a preview for it and I was like, oh my God, is Faith Hill okay? And then
Right.
I saw a picture of her and she looks great.
Yeah.
But I was like, how did they take a beautiful woman like that?
Yeah.
And
yeah. Because I mean, that's probably not a good picture of her. But,
I'm like, why'd you
but like
take
that's
her
a good picture of her.
Yeah.
But then you see her on the show, and you're like, oh boy, she looks
rough. Tim McGraw looks pretty good too.
Yeah. You see her in 1883. Yeah, there you go. Look at her.
Oh yeah.
She looks like sourpuss face, like like yeah. And I was like, wow, yeah, there you go. So that's what she really looks like, and then that's what they make her look like in the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, because like I remember growing up, I hated Faith Hill. Because
Really?
she covered Janis Joplin.
Oh, I know, terribly.
And then they asked her what she thought of the original song. And she's like, I don't know, I've never heard it. I'm like, oh,
How?
that's a fucking kick in the pants.
I know. She made it like a happy, like.
Now take another little piece of my heart,
And I'm like,
now, baby.
And then, so I'm a huge Janis fan. Like, I love Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you take this heart wrenching song?
Would you pay $1,000 to see Janis Joplin live?
Oh shit, I would pay
a
lot.
I would pay a lot, but like, someone was like Jimi Hendrix, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Doors, I'm like, meh.
They're not even a real band.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What about Sex Pistols?
No.
I'm
sticking with New Order. That
right.
is the band. That is hands down.
What
That's
is-
the only
all right.
band that I want to see that I have not seen.
If I could get backstage passes, I would pay
Are they still around?
$1,000 for Stevie Nicks.
Blue Monday, that's right.
Oh, I know.
I think that's right. So is New Order not around anymore?
They didn't tour the US. I should have to.
Are they all dead, or someone?
No, they just
No.
they tour Europe.
That's it.
Yeah, they haven't like toured in the US for years. So
Well, you might have to pay $1,000 to go
I
see
might
them.
have to actually pay $1,000 to go see them.
I mean, would you want to come to the US right now?
No.
You know what I mean?
I'm talking. I started listening to them when I was like 12. So
Right.
it should have been some point in time.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can come over across the ocean. Nope.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys watched John Oliver.
Yeah, sometimes, not recently.
So last night we were kind of catching up and he was talking about like cops, like school cops.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know, one of the jokes was like, if you asked me what the scariest place to be at in America would be right now, I would say school.
Yeah.
And because they were saying like, do we really need cops? Like, it was basically, and I didn't realize, but there are school cops that will turn you into the actual police for dumb shit. So there's like a 13-year-old kid who wrote in washable marker, by the way, like his initials, and he was like he had mental disabilities or whatever. And when they asked him why he did it, he was like, I just thought maybe I would like be a legend. Like people would see my initials and they'd think I was cool, which he's 13.
Yeah.
And then his mom made him go back to the school and wash it off, and it came off.
Yeah.
But he got a rap sheet.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
For
like
graffiti?
Yeah. And it's like, okay, I get it. But also I don't get it.
It's
Like
a juvenile record. Those don't even count.
well, but they were saying that like it affects how you feel about yourself.
Sure.
Right? So like now you're a bad kid.
No, you're
No,
a badass.
I think it just makes you not like the police, which is
That
a
too.
good thing.
Which is fair.
Which is fair.
But anyway, it was like a whole thing. And so this black kid was like, imagine being black, having cops in your school, and like cops already don't like us. So then you have some motherfucker running around and he's like, they could put him in whatever color they want to put him in.
Yeah.
He's still a cop. And he's like, I don't feel safer at school with a cop walking around. And I was like, oh shit.
When I was younger, they just had we had a really special cop in our school.
Oh.
He was about 2.5 feet tall, and
What?
he wore a trench coat, and his name was McGruff
Oh
the
my
Crime Dog.
McGruff.
And our teacher would put him on, and then they would play a tape,
Yeah.
and she would move his mouth as he did the tape.
I was going to say,
And That was the cop we had in our school.
And in high school, I think we had a cop, but like, I don't think he really. Akara might be able to remember this because we went to high school together, but I just remember him kind of being a piece of shit. Like,
oh yeah.
I
mean, what job? I mean, like, what did you do that now you're the cop at school? You know,
like
you're not going. You know, you're not doing homicide. You're not on
right.
Vice. All of a sudden, you're like, you have the shitty car, the shittiest car, and probably the whole fucking precinct. You know, and
I just remember having to like run from him when we were smoking cigarettes, and then we started smoking. So I had a ceramics teacher named Mr. Yoshida, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. But he would let us smoke by the kiln. And then his thing was like, if they come over here, if they catch you, I had no idea what you were doing out there. And that's where I started smoking because I didn't have to run away from Kroger brand McGruff, the crime dog.
Can we watch a video of McGruff, the crime dog?
Yeah, I was going to say, you had clearly a different McGruff in your school because mine was like, I don't know. Okay, this might just be perspective, but he was like 7 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
There was a man in a trench coat and a dog hat. Well, not a dog hat, but like a full. And he didn't say anything. Other people said
he wore
things.
Gloves.
Yeah,
and
he was huge. I was like, "You got a puppet? I'm so sorry."
I want that job.
Let's see here. This is for people who've never seen the show. It's
that's Jenny, but that's not Jenny's dad. If she gets into that car, that may be the last time you'll see Jenny. I'm McGruff, the crime dog. See those kids? Every day in this country, 60 kids disappear.
Holy crap.
Some run away, but a lot are kidnapped by strangers or even by people they know. So write them McGruff and teach your kids to protect themselves. Help take up bite out of crime.
And I feel like McGruff was actually a detective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Carr is right. Our cop was to take the kids smoking cigarettes to the office. And to make sure we weren't leaving campus when we weren't supposed
Cops
to.
always trying to snatch my crops. These pigs want to blow my house down. Run the ground to the next town.
That was terrifying.
What?
That McGruff thing.
I know, right?
We had to have a talk with Danny, so...
Like all those kids just disappeared. Like the bicycle fell over. Like...
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, man. Everything was scary. Like I love those memes where it was like, did you watch scary movies as a kid? You're like, no, I had this, and it was like McDonald's, like just the characters or the whatever, and everything was like clown, like just anything was scary as fuck looking, right?
The hamburger's gonna come and take your food.
Yeah, right. Fucking
I need that food.
Fucking Grimace. You know, his name's Grimace. You know. Were you there for the bomb threat?
I don't know. I was drunk and high at school a lot, so I don't remember.
She was drunk and high at school calling in bomb threats.
You saw that one? That was hilarious.
Hilarious, Jerry.
That's why I can't drink Jack Daniels anymore.
Yeah.
I used to drink Jack Daniels all day at school.
Oh,
that's probably why I dropped out.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, wow.
Every time in jazz band we had to solve crimes.
All right.
I don't remember solving crime. Again,
Did you guys go to school together?
Yeah.
Right.
We were in band together.
Nerds.
We were nerds. She was way cooler than me, though. She was on drumline. I was in color guard, okay?
Oh.
Like.
That's extra nerd.
Extra nerd.
I didn't even go to high school. I just know this
extra nerd
from movies.
Poor Hollyanne. Are you going to miss us making fun of like you being in color guard or living in Rio Rancho or?
I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah.
I think for a couple of weeks it'll be refreshing, but
yeah, right.
Then after a few weeks I'll be like, oh, nobody's making fun of. Just kidding. You know what? My daughter, she's an asshole.
Burn.
Oh yeah, burn. She the other day, what did she say to me the other? Oh, so she got Connect 4. Okay. And I was like so excited because I loved Connect 4. Yeah. And her dad had to go do something. So I was like, well, I'll play with you. And she put 2 in. And I was like, what are you doing? And Jason's like, oh, I give her, she gets to put 2 in to start the game. I'm like, no, not when she plays with me.
No.
Like, I'm going to teach her that just because, no, you don't get shortcuts, right?
You're all, I get to.
Right.
This is not how this works. I'm older.
And-
I get to.
And
You're,
then
you're, all,
she
you're all,
goes-
I'm the wealth of America. Let me go ahead and cripple you right away.
Right.
I get 2.
So she goes, I don't even need to play Holly because she's not going to win anyway.
Holy fuck.
And I was like, oh, really? I'm like, watch this, motherfucker.
Yeah, and you crack the shotgun open.
I beat the fuck out of her at that game.
Good.
I just realized that somebody could take that out of context. I do not beat my children.
No, you beat her. You
At
won.
games.
I
You
won.
won at a board game,
Board game.
and you taught her a valuable lesson that
Yeah.
life is not fair, and you don't always get to win.
And then she cried, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Why are you crying? Because you lost?" And she was like, "No, I'm crying because I was wrong."
Oh,
I was
That's
like, "No."
a much better reason to cry.
and
Yeah.
you're like, lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
You were wrong.
She learned another valuable lesson.
You're
So
like this. You're all face.
I know. I was like,
Face.
and then I was like, "You want to play again?" She said, "No."
I
was like, ooh, sore loser. Only
Did she like go in the room and like not make noise for a while?
yeah.
You just follow her around shaking it now.
Like,
Yeah. Hey, Connect 4. What do we call it? Hey, Connect 4 King or Queen. You want to play again? Captain Badass
oh,
over
man.
here.
She gives me a run for my money every day, but
Mhm.
she like the one day she called me fucking stupid, and I was like, "What did you say?" And she was like, "I was just making a joke." I was like, "That's not a funny joke." And then I turned around and I laughed a little bit because her little voice saying stuff like that is really quite funny. But this past week on Friday, we went to Target to get Ian some sippy cups, right?
Okay.
And like she got 3 new toys last week because Target had their summer toy sale or whatever. And so I told her going into Target, like, do not even ask me for a toy.
You don't want nothing. You don't look at nothing.
Nope.
You don't touch nothing.
You don't even think about
You
nothing.
don't get nothing.
So she got jealous that her brother got sippy cups
Oh, okay.
and was like, but I deserve to get something. And I was like, no,
We're
no, you
all,
don't.
You're all
Do you
you're all,
want a sippy cup?
I know, right?
you get to play me at Connect 4 when we get home.
I know, right? So she loses her ever loving mind
no,
and
no.
in the most dramatic fashion knocked over a display of school supplies. And I don't think she was meaning to do that, but like it happened. And then her face was like,
Oh man.
oh shit. And I
Shirt.
turned and I was like, Danny, we are going. And I had gotten her ingredients to make these like weird quesadillas she wanted to make. I picked up Ian, grabbed his sippy cups. I was like, we're leaving this cart here. And she's like, you can't do that. And I said,
Oh, we will.
yes, I can. And
This is a Walmart. I can do whatever I want.
This whole place is designed
Target,
around
Target.
it.
No.
and
I can do exactly this.
she was like, I'm gonna tell my mom that you're abusive. And I was like, go for it. Go for it.
it. Then that's when you go. Then they take you away, and you get to live with a foster home. Now that sounds nice and all, but let me tell you some stories from foster.
I
homes.
know.
Yeah.
But we had to have a talk with Danny about like kidnapping because of the McGruff video. Well, let me tell you why. So at school,
Is McGruff still a thing at school?
no.
Oh.
So like the last few weeks of school, we got a phone call from the school and they were like super panicking because Danny had found a candy necklace on the playground and she picked it up and was eating it.
Yeah.
And they're
Fair.
like, you know, and so we had to tell her like you can't do stuff like that. And she was like, why? It's just candy. We're like, what if like a stranger just
It
like
was on
offered
the
you
ground.
candy? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but somebody could like throw the candy there. Like
Right.
you don't know. Plus it's COVID times.
Yeah.
Like maybe don't eat candy that you don't know where it came from.
Right.
I've learned
And-
my lesson on trash food.
Just shoplift it from Circle K like everyone else.
Right. I was like, oh my God. So then she was like, why are you guys so worried about stuff? And we're like, because you could die.
Yeah.
And she was like, whatever. And so then
She's like YOLO.
yeah. So then she was like, yeah. So in school today, they were talking to us about like, you can't talk to strangers, but I love talking to strangers. And we were like, no.
Whoa.
She's like, I just think it's fun to meet new people. We're like, yeah. It's cool to meet new people, but also there are people who will take you
Right.
away. And she goes, yeah, we could go on an adventure. And we're like, oh my God, you're the most kidnappable kid ever.
No, well, I mean, you got to think about this. Like our whole childhood, they're like, do not talk to strangers. Don't
Yeah.
take things from strangers. Now we get into a car with strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Lyft and Uber. we're online. We meet strangers online, dating apps. It's just a whole
They're
crazy
not
world.
strangers. There's a
yeah.
picture of them in a name
Oh,
right on my
yeah,
phone.
okay. Yeah.
Nobody makes that up. If
Mm.
it's on the internet, it's true, Christopher.
Smiley's going to be on Catfished.
Oh, I love
pretty
that
soon.
show.
I know, right?
I
Every time it's not. Every once in a while, it's the right person.
I don't know this. So a couple weeks ago,
Should I do it like but in reverse? Like I have like a really ugly photo. I'm like, I wonder if this person's gonna get a date
Oh, that would
me.
be cool.
And then I show up and I'm like, hi, I'm a model.
Yeah.
so I want to see that episode of
Yeah,
Catfish.
right.
So there was this like a couple weeks ago. I got excited because like the person they said it was actually there, but he was hiding in a weird barn in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. And he had a flip phone. Also weird.
Also weird.
Um,
Somebody's got
furniture made out of human
if
flesh.
someone's got a flip phone and they're not over the age of 50, suspect.
yeah, totally.
Suspect. Sorry.
So it turned out, so this girl was like super excited. It turned out he's having a baby with somebody else and just failed to mention that to her.
Right.
And he was like, I don't know why you're so upset. And I was like, oh my God.
What I like is I'm watching Friday Night Lights again all the way through because I fucked up. And I was like, oh, I only have 10 minutes. So what can I put on real quick while I'm putting my shoes on? So I put Friday Night Lights on. Boom. Now I'm like I'm season 5.
Oh,
that is an amazing show. And that
It
is-
is.
love Friday
I can't
Night
believe you
Lights.
threw you're into that bucket.
Oh, I've already seen it all the way through like 6 times, right? So
yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm with someone and they're showing Landry Clark, the character
Yeah.
Landry Clark, and he's like with Tyra, and someone's like, there's no like she would never date that guy. And I was like, oh yeah? Do you know that actor? You know who he's with right now? And they're all who? I was like, Kirsten Dunst, motherfucker.
Right.
So I'm like,
I,
they have kids together.
I started watching.
Jesse Plemons.
I found a show
Yeah.
that's basically Gilmore Girls for people who loved Gilmore Girls and grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Virgin River.
Oh.
And I was like, this looks stupid.
I've never
won't
been in
get-
that river before.
I know.
Ah.
Not even once, Grace?
Not the Virgin River.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I have. Yeah.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times. But so I was like, oh, I can watch this like while the baby takes a nap, and then I won't get like too into it because it looks like a Hallmark movie in show form. Holy shit, I'm enthralled.
Oh really?
I can't stop. There's a drug. There's like a illegal pot growing ring, and people are
illegal pot growing. It's called Every Town in America.
I know. Yeah. Well, they buried boxcars, like like old train cars in the ground, and that's where they grow their weed in a national forest. So there's no jurisdiction over it. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
It's called federal.
Yeah, but they don't have enough park people because they don't have funding, which I thought was like a very deep storyline.
We stumbled upon the illegal marijuana growing cartel.
I know, and then there's like a bar owner, and he's handsome, of course he is, and he's having twins
It's a
with
requirement
another
to
girl.
own a bar.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They wouldn't license you otherwise. I mean,
unless you're handsome.
They're all, let me see your jawline. A little round.
Lose 5 pounds. We'll see.
Okay.
But anyway, there's like some lady's husband, abusive ex-husband that she was running from. She pushed him down some stairs, and then he showed back up the next season, and it's his twin brother. Yep, that's what I watch now, guys. Are you gonna miss me talking about weird mom things?
There's nothing wrong with
Did
that.
you say no?
No, it's fine. I will.
I just invested in because they were on sale, and I've been wanting it for a long time. Have you guys ever watched Legend of the Seeker?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
It is pure, unadulterated, like just candy trash. It's great. It's from the same people that made Hercules and Xena.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I remember it, but I never
And
watched it.
man, every actor and actress on that show is just God's gift to the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, look at that guy. That guy is so unnecessarily ripped. And wow, could that girl be more chiseled?
Right.
It's and I'm like, what's going on in the story? I don't know. They're gonna kill some shit. I love this show.
Ridiculous. We're at the end of the first hour here. But do you have like one last thing to promote?
I do. I have a couple of things to promote. This is my last time promoting. On July 27th, I will be headlining at the Outpost in Old Town. That should be pretty cool. And then I started a new Instagram for my beer writing and my brewer's wife life thing, and that's called A Journey of Many Beers. So if you would like to follow that, you can check out my articles and all that stuff. And that's mostly so I can keep my comedy Instagram the way that it is.
Oh, nice.
So, and not have to like filter myself.
Did you say the thing you have once a month, the mom thing?
Oh, I forgot about that. And then once a month, I have my mom show at Dry Heat Comedy, and the next one will be on August 7th at 2 p.m.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, here's the thing. This isn't goodbye. You know, like I am going to totally stop by here all the time to bug the dudes.
Yeah, you can come on anytime you need to.
You know.
Unless
I'll just never see you again.
Oh, dang.
Oh, that's it.
I'm
That's
kidding.
Oh.
If you stop by here, you're not going to see me.
Why?
I'm not here.
She means whenever we're doing the
Yeah.
show.
Like, I'll
Oh.
pop in and sit on the couch.
Yeah. Also, you have to move in. No, I'm just kidding.
Also, you need to move in.
I'm gonna need the rent now. Just a little short on money. Smiley, what do you got going on?
What I have going on? You can watch me on the first season of Big Sky because they started the second, so you can see me on that. You can come see me slaying alcohol over at the Bird of Paradise. And this Thursday at La Chocla, I will be bartending / dancing.
All right.
Like, I don't know. They want me there. They need me there, and they're trying to figure out if I want to if I'm going to be bartending or actually like leading a dance floor
Okay.
dance.
This is Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday.
Oh,
at La
this is the
Chocla.
Birds Tiki Lounge.
Yeah,
All right.
Birds
That'll be
tribute.
fun.
Birds Tribute. Let's see. Like we've advertised, this is our last Sunday podcast. So after today, our next podcast will be a week from tomorrow. Hollyanne will not be here, but Billy Belmont will be in her place. I want to say there's a show. We're going to do a live podcast September 3rd in Antonito, Colorado at, what is the name of this festival? I don't know. There's a festival going on there. If you really want to know, personal message me. There's no name on it, I don't guess. But yeah, it's camping, bring your own food, booze, and there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bands.
Wow.
So it's going to be cool, and we're going to do some live podcasting from there. That should be pretty dope. Stick around for the second hour. I'd like to tease this. I need to talk about how my Instagram is now unusable
Oh no.
due to going viral.
Jeez Louise.
I'm going to give you the downside of going viral. Just so you know, my video, my one reel, I have one reel, and it is close to 1.1 million views.
Wow.
Over 95,000 likes. It's been shared over 13,000 times. It's been saved 6,100 times. But
Nice.
ruined my Instagram.
Well, you got to ride that wave though.
You got to ride that wave, but we'll tease that for the second hour. And you know, it's Hollyanne's last show.
It's
No.
a long day
Oh God.
without you, my friend.
I'm not gonna cry right now. Not gonna do it. Mostly because I'm focusing on the fact that I have
Yeah.
to pee. So
All right, on. So stick around for us for the second hour. With that, we are 10 drink minimum.
It's not about you. It's all about you. Cry. last things you say. On a colorless line, baby, I know what time does. The sun is a summer of wine. Love you took me off of my mind until the end of time. You took the earth from my mind until the end of. It's not about you. It's all about you, right? Take your time and look away. Realize the things you say. On a colorless light, baby, I know what time does. The sun is a sum of one. Love is what it's all You took me off of my mind until the end of time. You took the earth from my mind until the end of. You took the earth from my mind until the end of time. You took the earth from my mind until the end of.
Radio 470 AM, it is game day, people, and I have never felt this kind of electricity.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
All right, we're back for the Billy / Wavy Hour. You are watching the 10 Drink Minimum show, sponsored by the Finnish Long Drink. Long drinking. Good, they're a good sponsor to us. You know,
They're being very nice.
yeah. And you said they're very happy with us, right, Smiley?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll see what happens after I leave.
It's Hollyanne's final performance here on the 10 Drink Minimum show.
Yes.
I mean, it's not your final show. It's your final show as like a co-host. Normally, you know, you're going to come back, and you know,
Yeah.
if you have something to promote, we'll bring you in. You know,
Yeah.
if this Billy guy doesn't work out,
He has been
Well,
flaky in the past.
he has
and,
been
like,
flaky.
moving to different states.
yeah, he's like, I'm going to Washington D.C. But it's your final show.
I will remember you. Oh my god. Oh god. It just never, I feel like that song
Yeah.
just never stops.
Yeah. So I tease it for the second hour. So I had a reel. Like Billy filmed me playing some. Did we leave the dog outside?
Yeah.
You might have to bring her in. Billy filmed me playing this game, Skate 3. And there's this like one gap over this bridge that I was always trying to hit. And I didn't ever really play it seriously. It'd be like we're drunk at night, and I would,
Yeah.
you know, I would put that game on when I was bored, and I would just try that. Well, finally, I hit that gap, and I did a Christ air across it, and it's on Instagram Reel. We put, you know, we're all like the dogs barking in the background, and I'm like, yeah. Billy's like, yeah. Well, come to find out, there's this bigger gap right there where you jump 2 bridges, and everybody's like. So everybody's like, "Oh, great job, man! Now hit the big gap like a big kid, you know." Or
Yeah.
people write, they're like, "Oh man, my 3-year-old brother could do that one." And, and my favorite thing to do is when someone posts something like that, I'll reply to their message. I'll be like, "Wow, he's really good," you know, just so they like, you know, kind of. And then like one guy was like, "Oh crap, was that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Sorry, man, congrats." He felt all bad for talking shit. Anyway, so this reel has almost 1.1 million views.
Oh my god.
Right? Now, I use Instagram as my main social media now.
Right.
And I had to shut off all the notifications.
Oh my god.
Otherwise, my phone will just constantly buzz, never
Jeez
stopping.
Louise.
And it'll wear down the battery. It just, I mean, when I say nonstop, it's nonstop. It's like, bah, bah,
Oh my
bah,
god.
bah, 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 like that.
Wow.
And you can just see them. And now I don't know if someone's like comment. If I put a picture on Instagram, I have no idea if someone's commented on it. I have to open Instagram, go to that picture, and see if it has likes or comments because
That would ruin it.
they're buried in the notifications.
Oh my god.
Because it'll every time I open my Instagram, it'll be like 100 new likes, 40 new comments, ... and like anything else is buried because of that.
Well, you got to ride this wave, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You got to post other things because here's the deal. Now people
okay.
are going to see you
Okay.
top of their.
Really?
Oh yeah, because once
Mm.
that's how the algorithm works,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So, I mean, people will click on that reel to like go and see. They'll click on your profile to go and see like your other reels. So now you got to post other reels.
Damn it.
And they don't even have to be like as popular as that, but that's gonna get the views.
But then I can monetize it, right?
And now you can be an influencer.
Oh, just like you always dreamed.
No, I have not.
Not nearly as exciting. Miss Rachel commented on a video of Ian watching her.
Oh,
That was cool.
Speaking of the influencer thing,
Yes.
so I did have another thing happen. Someone hit us up on our website and was like, I think that they were hired by this restaurant. And they were like, hey, could you go try out this place?
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I could do that. And they're like, and then talk about it on your podcast. I'm like, okay. And they were going to comp me, but I was supposed to go and tell them my name, and they were going to give me free food. But I don't like to do that. I don't feel genuine.
Yeah.
So I went to this place today
Uh-huh.
called Tikka Hut.
Uh-huh.
It's on Indian School, right by Carlisle.
Yeah.
It used to be an old place called Da Vinci's Pizza, I believe.
Yeah.
And so I come, like, so the late, they're like, the ladies, like, we have brunch on Saturday and Sunday. You can go to brunch. And I'm like, I'm thinking brunch. I'm thinking, like, I'm going to show up. There's going to be mimosas. There's going to be, a waiter or waitress, a wait person. I don't know. And
They're called servers.
server. Sorry, Smiley. I didn't mean to offend your people. But so I go, and it's like an Indian fusion place. It's the
Uh-huh.
only way I can explain it.
Are they
And-
related to the food truck Tikka Spice?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Because I love Tikka Spice.
Because that's a spicy place. This one's
Yeah.
a hut.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding. No. So I go, and they have brunch, but you walk up to the counter and you order, and then they bring you your food out. Like, it's one of those places.
Yeah.
And at first, I was kind of like, I don't know. The place was a little dirty.
Yeah.
The table we sat down was a little dirty, and we were the only people in the place at first.
Yeah.
Near the end of us eating, there were some other people that showed up. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, not really much of a brunch really here. And they did have beer, but there was like no mimosas, no
Yeah.
nothing like that. Now, I ordered the chicken and waffles, and on the picture, the chicken was fried.
Yeah.
It was not fried when it came.
Oh.
So it was like
What was it?
baked chicken, I guess.
Oh.
Huh.
Baked chicken and waffles, which I've never had before.
Was it breaded at least?
No.
Weird.
No. Or maybe it was grilled. I don't know.
Yeah.
And my lady friend, she got something called Brunelli or something. The food was amazing.
Oh.
Chicken and waffles, even though it wasn't breaded, awesome. Whatever she had that had lamb in it,
Mm.
awesome.
Huh.
And then they have pizzas. They have these like Indian fusion pizzas, and so I'm kind of want to go back and try the Indian fusion pizzas.
Oh.
I don't know. It's very, very interesting place, and I don't feel like a lot of people know about it. Like, I mean, I definitely, if they're gonna have brunch, I think they need to have like some sort of like
They could even make fomosas.
fomosa, or beer mosas.
Right.
They need to do something like that. Maybe
Or they could get some long drink there.
they get some long drink there.
They need
Maybe
longer.
hire a little, like the guy that was working the register. It's supposed to be brunch. He was a little gruff kind of guy.
Yeah.
He was nice, but he was like, hey, what do you want? Kind of guy. I feel like the atmosphere needed a little bit more, charm to it.
Oomph.
But food wise, 5 star.
I mean,
5 star.
I'm gonna go check it out, but I am
Yeah.
sad about Da Vinci's Pizza because
Mhm.
my dad lives in that
Ah,
area,
gotcha.
and when I first got divorced,
Mhm.
I went to Da Vinci's Pizza one time. Well, I went there a lot of times, but the first time I went, they had a thing called the hamburger pizza,
Oh,
and it was so fucking good.
like it had hamburgers on the pizza.
Well, the pizza itself had hamburger meat and
Oh.
lettuce, tomato, onion, all the things,
Mhm.
and it was so good.
Okay.
They were a really good pizza place,
Yeah.
but I want to go check this place out now.
But I mean, does that mean I'm an influencer now?
I mean,
Is that a thing?
if you go with this wave of,
Oh man.
then that's going to take over your life,
Have you seen this wave of like speakeasies now opening up because of
Yeah,
founders?
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
That was one of the topics. So a friend of mine was like, we should go to this.
The one in Nob Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You have to make an appointment.
yeah, I saw that. And I was like,
Nah.
I'm like, look,
Uh-huh.
I am loyal, if
Yep.
nothing else. Founders
Mhm.
is my favorite place to go.
Hey, it was Summerfest last night, and I went to Founders, and it was packed.
Yeah. I mean,
Nowhere else.
I don't know. I don't want to ever discourage people from supporting a new place, but also Founders is kind of cool because
Well, and then
It
have you heard
was
it?
Summerfest yesterday.
Mhm.
yeah, in Nob Hill.
That's okay. I was
In
trying,
Nob Hill, second one already.
I was trying to figure out what was going on because I worked last night and
Oh.
we had a line for 8 hours.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
gotcha.
And I was like, is it a holiday I don't know
Mhm.
about? Why are all these people coming in sometimes multiple times?
You
to
should have
get
just
more-
stabbed someone in front of everyone. Like, it's not abnormal, right?
We were gonna go, and it was too fucking
Oh, so hot. Yeah.
We're like, we're
Yeah.
not taking our
No.
baby out in 105. We were like, okay, we could go around like 7, but even at 7, it was over 100
Mhm.
degrees. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, thank you. Sounds like a terrible time.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
So I have to talk about something.
Well, hold on. There's
sorry.
another speakeasy.
Yes.
There's another one.
Besides that one?
Yes. Off of Lomas and like 4th Street. That one, you have to be a member. And it's like $300 a year. And then there's another one. Matucci's is doing one. And I guess it's super tiny. And you pay like $1,000. This is what was kind of told to me in passing. You pay like $1,000 and then you have like your own area. But I'm like, how often would you have to go there to pay $1,000 of your own area?
Do you
Is
get?
New Order going to play for me?
I know,
Right,
right?
right.
Do you get drinks
I don't know.
included in that
Yeah,
$1,000?
I don't think so.
Because that's ridiculous.
Like, imagine you go to Founders and you pay the $1,000 and then that little cocaine room is yours all the time. But I mean,
But you
How
would
can
have
they-
to go so much.
yeah, how could they like? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I
Or-
don't like it.
Or if someone's in your room, do they like go, oh, sorry, you guys had to move. The room owners here.
No,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Is that like where
Mhm.
making a reservation comes in?
I
I don't know.
I don't. Well, that's a different one. And I'm like,
Oh.
I don't think our town can hold all these places.
I mean, that's what I thought about breweries, but here we are.
And I see these
Mm.
like influencer like people popping up at all these places, and I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
and
And that
I say influencer with quotes because
Mm.
there's one that I
Mm.
know,
yeah.
and they show up at places, take a picture, they never go
And then they
again.
fucking leave. They don't stay there. That's the oh
And they never go again.
no.
So they're not really supporting
No.
anyway.
They're just like, I'm gonna be the first one at this place and show it off.
yeah, it's
And then I'm gonna dress up the picture and fuck
no,
fuck all
I don't
that.
like it.
I don't do that.
So
I'm real.
I'm in a professional pickle right
Uh-oh.
now. So I write a column and I'm in
Mhm.
charge of the arts, entertainment, and beer for Rio Rancho
Okay.
Observer. And on Friday, a brewery, I'm not going to say the name, but a brewery had a grand opening of their
La
beer
Cumbre.
garden. No. Yeah, let's go with that. No, they had a grand opening of their beer garden, and like the mayor was there. Not this mayor, but the mayor of Rio Rancho.
Not this guy.
Yeah. And they had like a dunk tank and they were raising money and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, COVID's getting crazy. So I'm not going to go on the grand opening, but I will
Mhm.
definitely go check it out.
I mean, this was a new brewery or just a beer garden?
It's just their beer garden.
All right.
So I got kind of excited. I'm like,
Nexus.
you made it such a big deal. We went, it was so meh. Just and I was like,
Really?
this is a and so the professional pickle that I'm in is we're trying to boost
Yeah.
the
Ad sales.
breweries in our area. Well, not even just that, but just like try and make people aware
Oh, in
that
your
we have
area,
brewery.
Turtle Mountain.
Turtle Mountain. Oh my God, Turtle Mountain is amazing. I would never have a professional conundrum
Oh.
promoting Turtle Mountain. Their food is amazing.
Yeah.
They're also a GABF gold medal winner. But anyway, so I think I'm gonna have to compliment sandwich the entire column this week.
Like I just did with that place.
Oh, it's gonna have to be
The compliment sandwich.
yeah. Because also their seasonal
Mm.
beers were kind of
Meh.
meh.
You know?
Worse
you know?
than meh.
You know? I'm going to call out the whole industry right now in Albuquerque. And I just want to say you guys are sitting on your fucking hands. And
Yeah.
only a few are really doing anything innovative.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna, for example, Sidetrack and Ex Novo.
Yeah.
And even La Cumbre. And no one else is.
Yeah. Well, and this is my problem.
Nothing.
So I have been 100% transparent that my husband works at Ex Novo.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Ex Novo has one, the most creative names. Two, so they're in my area of writing, right? And they also have the best beers that I
Yeah.
have never had a compliment sandwich them.
No.
And
Pearl
they're,
Haggard, man.
oh my god, and they're doing so many cool things that, like, even they just improved Pearl Haggard.
Really?
Let me tell you what happened.
Why would you try
I
to do
was
that?
scared because Jason was like, don't be surprised, it's going to be a little bit hoppier. So I was scared. I tasted it. It tastes just fine. I think if you're not like a professional brewer, you would not notice the difference. But here's what they did. So they have 2 facilities. They have the Portland one and they have the one in New Mexico. The one in Portland, their Pearl Haggard won an award. So
Mhm.
they're like, we want it to be more consistent
Oh,
across
gotcha.
the board.
Yeah.
And I taste it and it tastes fine. It's not a noticeable difference.
I'll probably barf right away.
I know, right? Blech. But they also have a beer that used to be
Mhm.
a Corrales tap room exclusive called Corrales Light,
Okay.
and it is
I love
so
that.
good.
Corrales Light.
Well, and we have a tank top
Mhm.
that on the back there's a typo, but the slogan for that beer is "When the mountains are pink, we must drink." And they were gonna put that on the can,
Yeah.
like Coors Light, and then the lawyers were like,
Oh,
"Absolutely
no,
fucking
no,
not!
No.
They will actually sue you." So
You would, that would be the end of Ex Novo.
apparently, Ex Novo has gotten a lot of cease and desist because they do little tongue-in-cheek things,
Mhm.
and the owner is like,
Yeah, I'm
you
tired
know,
of it. I'm tired of it.
whatever.
I'm tired
No,
of it.
he
Oh.
doesn't care, but he thought that would be the case, and then the lawyers were like, "No, they will actually sue you."
The owner's
So-
like, all right, guys. I mean, the lawyers are in my office every Monday morning, and I've had enough.
I've had
all right?
enough. But so they started canning it, and you can buy it, I think, everywhere that Ex Novo is sold. But
Corrales Light.
it has the Sandias.
I can't believe they're not
pink.
going to get sued for that. But
It's-
I can't even keep up with it anymore. Like
Yeah.
at the liquor store I work at, there's
Yeah.
like
Ex Novo.
5. There's like 5 different, like, this just for local.
Yeah.
For local
Yeah.
beers, just to keep up with all of the local beers. We
Yeah.
have 5 facing.
Well, and it's crazy because
coolers.
like Toltec shut down.
yeah,
Did you see that?
they're done.
And that kind of blew my mind because when they came out, they had Caitlin.
Yeah.
She was a GABF winner when she was
Yes.
with Nexus. She went there, and then somehow I don't know. I don't want to say
Yeah.
what happened because I don't know. But she left there, and now she's. Last I saw, she is distilling with Safe House.
Yes.
But I would say our brewery scene is on the downswing.
Yeah.
And we always knew it was going to come. We always knew that there was going to be a bubble burst.
I think that the staples are going to stay.
Of course, I mean, you know, the cream of the crop's going to win
Yeah.
out. You know, you're going to have your Bosque, your La Cumbre, your Nexus, your
I think
Ex
Turtle
Novo,
Mountain is going to be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Yeah,
Their
'cause
food is amazing.
Well,
Their
and-
beer is consistent.
that's
and-
still a huge list of
Yeah.
breweries that you're like, oh, these guys are going to be fine.
and they're
it's
on an
still-
island of their own. You know,
Yeah.
Tractor will. Well, I don't know.
You know what?
That's a good question.
Here's the deal. Now,
Santa Fe will be fine.
now that it's my job to actually like
Yeah.
talk about beers and stuff. Oh, you know who else is going to be fucking fine? Steelbender.
Steelbender will be fine.
Because again, they did it
Sidetrack will be fine.
they did it the right way. Sidetrack is always consistent. And I think like people, here's where I think breweries are
Mhm.
going wrong personally, is I think a lot of the breweries try to keep up with like good breweries
Mhm.
and come out with all these seasonals, but they can't even keep their regular beers
Right.
consistent.
Right.
And that's your bread and butter
Yes.
are your regulars that go in and buy the beer. And you don't want to question if
Yeah.
your beer is going to taste gross the next time you go.
Well, here's the other thing too. If on day one the doors open and you have T-shirts and merch,
Mhm.
you're really speculating that you're going to be badass right
Yeah.
away. And you know, you've got these groups that are like they're established, and it's like I'm gonna, you know, what everybody right out of the gate wants to be Steelbender.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Steelbender did it right.
Yep.
Right out of the gate, everybody wants to be Bosque. Everybody wants to be, you know, Santa Fe Brewing or whatever, or Marble.
Yeah.
And it's like, walk before you run.
Yeah.
Every place doesn't need to be a mega brewery.
Right.
You know, like I keep bringing up Sidetrack.
They're so
Sidetrack-
good though.
Yeah, they're delicious. Like
They don't want to be a mega brewery.
Right. And they're doing everything. I think they're another one that hit the ground running, doing everything correctly.
Yes.
Um,
They just want to be that one location.
Yep.
They want to brew that much beer, and that's it.
no, it's, I don't know. Plus their beers are
Mhm.
always good.
And
I've
they-
never had a bad beer.
They don't pay me to say that.
No.
And if they're at capacity and can't get in, that's your problem. You know?
Right.
And also don't go there
Also don't go there.
so I can get in.
Yeah, so we
Fuckheads.
can get in there and get a
Pieces
beer.
of shit. No, but that's that's where we're at.
Plus,
So all these like
their whole like the board where you can buy other people's
Yeah.
beers. It's just so
Yeah.
genius.
that's so cool.
and I mean it's not it's not anything groundbreaking. It's, but still it's still cool. It's
Yeah.
a down to earth place. You're
The
not gonna
owners are amazing.
you're not gonna go there to watch sports. You're gonna go there to like enjoy people's company and have a
Right.
good time. And you have all these other breweries in town that are A, popping up, or B, like opened up with piss. Like, first of all, if your beer is not good, who gives a shit about the rest of it?
Right. Well, so not to promote something, but I'm working on a feature that I did with Joel Gregory, who's the owner of Ex Novo.
Yeah.
And
Did you say Dick Gregory?
no, Joel Gregory. But
That's a blast name from the past.
but he said something that I thought was really smart. So he was like, here's the deal. Like, if you want your brewery to be successful, you have to have good beer, but you have to have a good atmosphere. You have to have good merch. You have to have all the things when you're ready. But he said a lot of places are messing up by they have good beer, but their merch is crap.
Yeah. Or their merch is great and their beer sucks shit.
Yeah, exactly. Or you have good beer, you have good merch, but your atmosphere sucks and nobody wants to hang out there. So he's really worked hard to get all the pieces to work together. And I think he's a great example. And he also had all of COVID to plant his grass and put up trees and all this stuff. If you haven't been to Ex Novo, they have a thing called the Corral.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And there's like grass and kids can run around, which is what I like.
They let them off the leash. They get to run around.
Absolutely.
They can't get out in the street.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I wish some of those kids would just escape. Yeah, I don't know. I think that we have a lot of people who are doing things right, but we also have a ton of breweries that I'm like, how are you still open?
Well, and I mean, I agree with what he's saying, but again, the keystone of that is if your beer is not good, who gives a shit about the rest of it? Yeah.
And I don't know. I think until you've perfected a couple of styles, maybe stop trying to do seasonals that are difficult beer styles. Yeah. I tried a beer just the other day that was supposed to be a sour.
Yeah.
I don't like sours.
If you go to see a band and they have the most amazing equipment, but they don't know how to play it, who gives a shit? And there's breweries in town where someone's like, oh, that's the most state-of-the-art brewery in town. Coors comes and looks at it. Okay, cool. But if whoever's fucking using the state-of-the-art equipment doesn't know how to fucking use it, who cares?
Gives a shit. Yeah.
I have a podcast. We have the most expensive microphones. We have the blah, 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 blah. Cool. Do you know how to interview a guest? Do you know how to like have your co-hosts on there and not step on each other? If not, who gives a shit?
Nobody's going to listen.
Right.
But yeah, I just had a sour the other day. And so here's the thing. Hamster and I sat down and we got a taster of the sour, and I don't like sours. I hate them. And I tasted it and I went, oh, I actually don't hate it. And
where was this at?
I can't.
At the place you were at?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
that seems like kind of a bad sign. You're like, I don't like sours, but this one's all right.
No, Hamster goes, well, that's wrong then.
Yeah.
And then he tasted it and he was like, that is not at all a sour.
Well, and the thing that sucks about sours is I like sours. And no one in this town does it correctly. No, I don't think they do.
Steelbender.
How do you know they do?
I've tasted them, and Hamster has said that it is the perfect sour.
Okay. When I say correctly, everybody cheats and they use yogurt.
Yeah, they don't use yogurt. Okay.
So the only one I didn't know that, because before them, the only people who didn't do that was Pie Brewing. And that dude from Pie Brewing, that time, the day we met you, we met the guy from Pie Brewing, and he invited Billy and I, and Billy and I hopped on the bus, and it no longer exists because someone drove a car through it.
Oh.
But what's that?
I said, oh,
and
I remember this.
Billy and I went out there, and that dude would not put out a beer until it was made, because like when you make a sour correctly, it takes a long time. And even the ones that were still in the barrel and flat because they hadn't been carbonated yet were the best sours I've ever had. So
I don't like sours because they taste like puke to me.
Yeah, not to me.
And Steelbender, the only one so at Press Club, we got a Steelbender sour. It was like a blood orange sour or something like that. And I had to taste it, and the sales rep for Steelbender, because he would come out and he would do their lines, he would do everything.
Yeah.
I said, I have to tell you, this is the only sour I like. And he said, you know what it is?
Yeah.
He's like, we don't use
Yogurt.
Yeah.
And that's great.
So you should give it a try.
Okay.
But
interesting fact though. So this is kind of shocking to me. Not shocking to me. So a couple weeks ago, our friend Buck from he hits me up and he's like, hey man, and I was right in the middle of COVID. I was still sick. Or I just not sick. I wasn't sick yet. I knew that I was going to get it.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get COVID before I got it. So he's like, hey, do you want to be on the radio with me tonight? And I was like, oh man, I can't come in. And he's like, oh, we'll call you. It's like, cool. And he goes, here's the thing. He's like, my producer and I were sitting around talking about podcasts. And he's like, oh, my favorite podcast is called 10 Drink Minimum. I listen to it all the time.
Wow.
And I'm like, what?
Wow.
That's weird. So then, I'm sitting around and they call, and then the guy's like, hey, this is blah, blah, blah. And we're going to have you on air with Buck and them in a little while. So in about a minute. So just hang tight. And I'm like, cool. And he goes, also big fan. I listen to the show in my shop all the time. And I'm like, oh, right on. And so then, smash cut, to Friday, we're going to interview Pat Davis from the city council, right? Mm-hmm. Pat Davis owns the paper, It's kind of a high-profile guy in Albuquerque, right? He comes in and he's like, you're Chris. He's like, I didn't know what you look like. He's like, I listen to the show all the time. I'm like, what? Like you listen? He's like, yeah, I listen to it to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is like that kind of, and like I tell people that, and they're like, yeah, why wouldn't you listen to it? I don't know. I would never think of someone from the city council of Albuquerque. So then at that point, I'm like, does the mayor listen? Has he listened to this show? I wonder.
I hope so. But, I hope he hears every single piece of shit we talk about.
Oh, you know it. Yeah. So it's funny though, because like I asked Pat, I was like, hey, will you come on the show? He's like, yeah. Wow. So I'm gonna try to get Pat Davis, city councilman. Wow. He's city councilman for Nob Hill, University area, and the International District.
Oh, that's perfect.
Those are all my jams.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was a little bit surprised this week at the number of messages that I got from people
really?
Who were like, I'm gonna miss you on the show, blah blah blah.
I got hit up probably about like 5 or 6 people. Well, so what's going on with Holly? What's the show?
Your nemesis hit me up.
Oh, who's this?
Dandy.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, and
that's funny.
He was like, what happened? You're leaving? And I was like, oh no, like, momming stuff. He goes, I get it.
Yeah.
Chris can wear people out.
Yeah, and he hit me up too. He's like, I see Hollyanne's finally got some sense. Yeah. I was like, hell, you son of a bitch. Stupid motherfucker.
No, it's gonna be weird not being on the show anymore because it has become so much part of my identity that I was thinking about that today.
Yeah.
Like when you make a big, change, like when they bring me up at comedy, they're not going to say from the podcast 10 Drink Minimum.
They can still say that because you did it for 4 years.
I mean, sure.
I mean, there's several comedians that started podcasts that didn't last 4 episodes, so that's cool, right? I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying,
not like saying anything. But yeah, it's gonna be really, really weird. I was trying to find reviews because
from this show.
Yeah, or like comments, because I was gonna do like read my favorite mean comments about me. Can I also have one? And I couldn't find them.
No.
We
don't get a lot of mean comments, do we?
Well, there was a period of time there where like people were being mean for reasons.
To us or you?
To me.
Oh yeah, well they were like, call us all fat.
Yeah, they called me a sofa.
Can I have one of these? No, you know what I found out?
Can I have the sugar-free version?
Did I not tell you about that? That wasn't real?
What do you mean?
That's an internet meme.
Oh yeah.
To find live stuff on the show and then act like you're selling a couch.
Yeah. No, I saw that.
But we all thought it was that fucking jack off that tried to set up a comedy show.
I would just like to mention that Dry Heat Comedy Club has made it longer than The Vault.
Oh, man, that's what it was called. I could never remember the fuck that name was.
We were talking about that at my mom's show. We were like, hey, remember that time you shut down a comedy club?
Right. And then you know what? Fuck it. And then like
that was good times.
Like you actually got it shut down. And like we would talk about it on this show.
Yeah, like a lot.
And this was like the hub of it. And then all of a sudden other people were like, "Oh, wait a minute," and then they jumped on it and then acted like it was all the fuck them.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's been the fucking story of this show, is other people jumping on and like taking the credit or whatever and whatever. Fuck.
I remember
It
that
keeps us on our
day.
toes, though.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
keeps us. We've always been innovative on
That's
the show
true.
because every other month
Yeah.
someone's stealing our jam.
Someone's either stealing our shit or taking credit for our shit or
I remember when all that went down, and I
Yeah.
was like, Chris, can I talk about a thing on the show?
Mhm.
And you were like, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, it might make people mad, blah, blah, blah. You're like, I don't care. And anyway, we were talking about it. And like the truth of the matter, if you want the truth, I think I sped up the process.
Sure.
I brought attention to a problem that needed attention.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, I don't think he would have made it much longer anyway,
No.
because he was a fucking moron.
And fat.
He was so
And that's
fat.
disgusting how fat he
Plus,
was.
his name was Timothy.
And I don't and I'm not body shaming anyone. He called us fat all the time.
Yeah.
He called me fat. He called Hollyanne fat. I don't know how he called Smiley fat. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
it
know.
doesn't even make sense.
His personality was fat.
And so then I go look
gross.
the motherfucker up, and he's fatter than all of us. And that didn't make no damn sense to me.
And it's not even about his body. It was
No.
about like how he was. I just ran across, so I was like going through my pictures
Yeah.
to find like memories of us. I found a screenshot of a message he had sent me
Yeah.
about like, oh, I loved this video of your comedy, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, which one? He's like, you were talking about oral sex and your cleavage was so amazing.
Oh,
It made
gravy.
me lose my breath or something. And I was like, oh my god. And anyway, yeah. So officially, Dry Heat has made it longer
Yeah.
than the Vault.
Good.
So, and no sexual harassment whatsoever.
What? Wait a minute.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
How can that be? When I was there the other night,
Because I mean, seriously, I was there and I was like, how are people not doing
Kelly
it? How-
came up and she's like, "Hey, Chris," and she's like, "I need a hug." And she, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for Kelly.
She hugged me for like 34 seconds. I'm just kidding. She did not. That did not happen.
I mean, it might have, but it's like the most welcome hug that
It
you've
was.
ever had.
It was warm and welcoming. That
No,
place
they're
is great.
amazing.
I'm really glad that exists.
Yeah, it's
Dry Heat Comedy. It's on 6th Street near
Yes.
Central. Right by the Sushi Hana. There's like a boot repair place and a
Yeah.
haircut place. Then them.
Yeah, and it's so great. It's woman owned.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just everything about it is amazing.
Mhm.
And like I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna let my last episode be. I'm gonna say some stuff.
Uh-oh.
So,
Here we go.
like,
Rails
we're
are
right
running.
back to all of the boy comics having lineups that never include women, and it's gross, and we're tired of it.
Shit's gonna change.
Shit's about to change. But I do want to say something, and this involves Zach Abeda.
Spite.
Oh
Oh.
no, I love Zach Abeda. It's
Mm.
not. I'm not saying anything.
Oh no, I
new.
like him that too. I was talking spite about what you were saying earlier.
Oh yeah. So there is a person
Mhm.
named Doug Peterson.
Oh, I don't know that person.
He owns Peterson Properties.
Okay.
And he does comedy sometimes as Fred Hawks. And he owns the building that Zach Abeda lives in. Now,
Oh.
Zach Abeda was shot a couple months ago. Okay. And he just found out that his rent is being raised $500 a month.
Wow.
And he started asking his neighbors. None of his neighbors' rent is going up.
What?
And when he tried to talk to Doug Peterson blocked him, won't respond to him, won't negotiate. A person who was just shot, still paying his rent,
Yeah.
still working hard,
Yeah.
just wanted to maybe negotiate.
Has a post on Facebook that says inflation is killing New Mexico's
Oh,
small business.
It's worse than that. He went on a podcast a couple weeks ago.
And it was a post by Mark
Oh,
Ketty.
yeah.
Now we know. Now
he
we
went
know.
on a podcast a couple weeks ago to talk about the homelessness problem.
I'm sorry, shelterless?
Shelterless problem, and how terrible it is, and what can we do? Well, maybe don't kick out somebody who just got shot
Yeah.
because it's bad for business.
Oh wow.
Because let's be real. Somebody who got shot living in your apartments is not a good look.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that that's exactly what happened. And Doug Peterson, I hope somebody tags you in this, and I hope you see this. But
also, you support Mark Ronchetti.
yeah, you support a
Ugh.
weadureman running.
That dude's
for
that dude's a
office.
chode.
Well,
Wrong about
and
the news.
Wrong about the weather.
he's wrong, Ketty. You know
He's
what
wrong
I mean?
about everything.
Mark Ronchetti.
How do we get that video going again? The fact that guy won the primary,
Oh my god!
I was like ecstatic.
You
I
know
was
what
like,
it
are you
is?
shitting me? But then I'm also now like
I'm
face the
scared.
fact that guy could win. That guy
Well,
could be the governor of this fucking state.
And a lot of people are jumping on it because he's
Yeah.
like, I will change the abortion laws.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
I'm
saw
like,
that.
fuck this shit. But anyway, Doug Peterson.
Mhm.
And if you have a problem with this and you want to say that I have caused defamation, go for it. Sue me. I have nothing to give you.
Sue Hollyanne.
Sue
Bird.
me personally. But you are a piece of shit. And you
Wow.
screwed businesses over. Peterson Properties screwed
Yeah.
businesses over during COVID. They own most of downtown. They were not coming down on rent. They were not helping people out. Like, he is the absolute, they are the absolute definition of rich people who talk about issues but don't do anything about
Oh,
it
man.
when they absolutely can.
Yeah. They just
So-
talk. They just do a lot of talking.
Yep.
What is he posting there? Oh, bourbon and boots.
Ew. That's because he owns that
'Cause he
building.
owns that building.
He supported the
Look
vault.
at this. Oh,
He-
look at this.
Ugh. Ew, look at his stupid face.
God, this is Ron Ketty. Ron Ketty
Ronchetti.
has a stupid face. I'm
Ugh.
sorry, he does.
He just looks dumb.
I'm out the rodeo. Yum. I don't know. I can't imagine. Can't imagine. I don't know, but hey, stupider things have happened. We'll see. Mark Ronchetti.
Like, who in their right mind is like, you know who would be a good governor?
Rural New Mexico.
Oh yeah, I used to live there.
We got to vote in this Ronchetti because he's gonna get rid of
They probably-
abortions.
They probably call him Ron Chetty.
Ronchetti. He's
You know
gonna
what
get
I
rid
mean?
of abortions.
Let's normalize Ronchetti.
Yeah.
Wrong. Ketty.
Ronchetti. What time? What's our time here? Diane, producer, how much time we have?
4 minutes left, Chris.
They're
4
all.
minutes.
They're all. 20 seconds.
that
Yeah, it's like,
reminds me of Frasier. I recently started watching Frasier when I can't sleep because I love
yeah.
Frasier.
When's the new one coming back?
Because it's
I
amazing.
don't know. I don't know when the new one's
August,
coming
like August 4th, I think is the new Beavis and Butthead comes back.
Oh, that's cool.
Have you seen the new movie?
No, I haven't
Oh,
watched
it's fantastic.
it. I know.
I went back and watched the original Beavis and Butthead Do America. The new one is better.
Really?
Yes.
You think so? Oh, I
Yes.
haven't seen. I haven't seen.
I think the new one's
fantastic.
fantastic because like they take Beavis and Butthead, and the new movie was made so that they could do the TV show because Beavis and Butthead, you know,
Mhm.
that takes place in like the 90s,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
so they have to go. They go into, you know, I don't know. They end up in 2022 somehow, and they're the same age. And so now but it cracks me up because like they accidentally
They're still teenagers from
Yes.
Highland High.
yes, and so they accidentally get a cell phone, and like they think Siri is a woman that they're talking to, and they're in
That's
love with her.
great.
Because of course they would.
Yeah,
Oh, so this there's a server at Ex Novo
Mhm.
who just took a job as a PE teacher at Highland High School, and we were like, "Oh my god, you need to watch Beavis and Butthead."
yeah.
He was like, "What?" We're like, "You don't know what Beavis and Butthead is?" So we like explained it to him, and we're like, "It's set in Highland High School," and he was like, "Oh my god, I gotta watch it," because he's only like he has to be just like 21.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, like that's the person that's missing from the movie is the PE teacher.
Yeah.
I always miss that, you know. And they always have the weight belt on, and they're like
Yeah.
doing the hula hoop with it. But yeah. So what do we got here? What are we doing for time? We got like about 15 minutes. Is that right?
Sure.
I
don't
don't
know.
remember having like a time on this show.
Well, we always do. I mean, we always do about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, and somebody was late.
Somebody was just like a little bit late.
I've learned my lesson. I will use the other app this time.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to spend the last 15 minutes talk about Hollyanne.
Oh gosh. Okay.
All the
Oh God.
Without you, my friend.
He just wants me to cry. Now, if Chris tears up, that's gonna just.
I already cried today once.
Oh God.
I did. I was trying to make a whole clip thing of like different like saying goodbye things, and I just started crying. I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this. So I mean, okay, you started this show 4 years ago.
I did.
You were trash talking comedian, single, perpetually single
Slut lady. Yes.
I
I'll
wasn't going to say
I'll
those
say
words.
it.
When you started this show, you were pretty raw.
Yeah.
I mean, we traveled together. We went to Trinidad.
Yes.
And we rented out this weird Airbnb
with a huge chair.
It had a really, really big like electric throne chair,
Yeah.
like electric chair that looked like a throne. Do you remember that, Smiley?
Yeah.
I do remember that now.
It was weird.
And I just remember like there was like a little like a tube TV with a VCR combo.
Yeah.
With some
And
tapes.
no, it wasn't a VCR. It was a DVD combo.
Yeah.
Was it?
And
And
it
it
was,
had 50 Shades of Grey.
that's what it was. And so so one day we were just like, you were getting ready or something, and we put it on, and we were just watching it. And it was so like ridiculous. And there was like 2 DVDs, and it was like, I don't know, one of them was like something dumb, like Steve-O's like Jackass solo shit or something, and then the other was just 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
And we spent the whole weekend in Trinidad, and we ended up doing like you did what 4 shows?
4 shows.
4 shows?
Yeah.
And like one of them you didn't do so well,
Yeah. I bombed.
and then the second one you did a little better, and then I think it was like the third and the fourth one you just killed it.
Yeah.
And like the weird thing was, and like totally I understand this because this is kind of how I get, if we do a live show or something for 10 drink minimum and we're going to be in front of a crowd of people, I get a little like this. I get a little on edge, but you really get on edge.
I do.
You have a certain routine.
Mm-hmm.
You do not like that interrupted.
No. I've had to let go of that though, because now I have children.
Yeah.
And they don't give a fuck about my routine.
So we saw all through that,
Yeah.
and then we watched you date people that were not good,
Lots of people.
and then we've watched you find the love of your life,
Yeah.
find out that you can actually have a child
Yeah.
after you didn't think you would ever have a child.
Yeah.
We made it through the pandemic.
We sure did.
We made it on the other side, kinda. And it's been quite the journey,
It has.
ups and downs.
Yeah.
You are always really great for like chisme, which I love. I'm like, oh, let me hear that.
we still cheese me.
I have a little bit after the show.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Mm.
I'm excited.
So
We shared a bedroom.
we shared. Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
did
Uh-huh.
with Billy.
Yeah, at your mom's house. And
Oh man,
James and I bunked up at your
that's
mom's
right,
house.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And no one even blinked an eye.
Mhm.
No.
Like, just, Smile and Holly can just like share that room.
Yeah, right. I think
That's
because
fine.
I just feel like my parents don't believe Smiley is like an actual real person. That's why.
No, and
But-
it like Smiley
Yeah.
has adopted me as like his little sister.
Oh, for sure.
I've gotten
I
close.
worry about you.
Yeah,
Like,
I've gotten close with Chris and
Yeah.
his parents.
Right. And it's gonna be a tough one without you. I mean, the only
Mm.
person that could replace you to come back is Billy. I mean, that's the only person. Whenever you said that you were leaving, in my mind, I'm like, who would I replace Hollyanne with? And it was like Billy. And if Billy would have said no, I don't even know what I would have done after that.
Oh,
There was no other.
oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Maybe for years from now,
Yeah.
Billy and I will just trade spots.
Billy will move to California
Every
now.
couple of years, you're just gonna have to.
I'll be like,
play.
Hollyanne, you got to come back in. How old's your kid? Your kid can drive now,
Yeah.
right? You're like, she's 4? Oh, all right.
He
well,
can be your
that's-
DD, right?
4. All right. I mean, is he a talkative 4? I don't know.
He's
But-
going to be. I can already tell.
It's
It's been a long way.
and it's not like you're moving away.
I'm not moving away.
I mean, you live in Rio Rancho,
I-
which is far away.
It's pretty far.
It's
No, I had a whole speech planned out because
Go for
that's who I am, but
Mhm.
I don't think I can do it.
Oh,
Like
try.
I think I'm just gonna like actually talk. No, you guys, I don't know if you guys even
Yeah.
realize what you have been in my life. I was super depressed, super lost when I first joined the show. And you guys helped me to get my confidence, to get my shit together, to like do comedy and take it serious. And you told me that I had value, and I worked hard, and I don't know where I would be without you guys. I don't think I would have made it through the pandemic. I don't think I would be the mom that I am if it wasn't for you guys. So I really, oh God, here it is. So I really appreciate everything you guys have done. And this isn't like I'm never going to talk to you guys again. I hope. No, but this is a hard goodbye because I didn't necessarily want to leave the show,
No.
but my life.
And we did not make Hollyanne leave the show for
No,
everybody
no.
who keeps asking that.
No. I just got to a point where I have to take care of my kids, which we never thought I was going to have kids. Like, if you watched the show when I first started, like, I was just going to be a single slut for the rest of my life, and then hamster ruined that. But the kids, the kids are getting bigger, and they need me more. And sometimes as a mom, you have to step up, and you have to make sacrifices that you don't want to make. And I would gladly do that for my kids any day. So the only reason I am leaving 10 Drink is because I have to be a mom. And that's kind of a badass thing.
Yeah.
But, it's not a bad problem to have. It just kind of sucks.
Well, yeah.
I have to leave.
And I mean, you drive farther than any of us. I mean, I'll drive anywhere, but Smiley has to get a Lyft or Uber, and it's a tough one, man. I mean, it's really tough, and you're welcome back anytime you want to come back,
Thanks, Chris.
No,
it's gonna be.
Long
Damn it! No, it's gonna be really weird not seeing you guys every week.
Yeah,
it's gonna be weird.
Well, we'll come to your comedy. I'll come to your comedy night.
Okay.
I'll come to your Sunday one, as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll bring Brody so she can bark the entire time.
Please. Brody's the best heckler I've ever experienced in my life.
And she looked up at me like, she's like, "Are you talking shit about me on the radio?"
She did.
She did look at me.
She's like, "What?
What the fuck?" So, what the fuck did I do?
Ian started doing that. Like, I like to make fun of my kids at home because that's what I do. And the other day, I called Ian an asshole.
Oh wow!
And
he was like,
yeah, he's like, "What the fuck?
The fuck?"
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah.
I don't like goodbyes, so
no.
This
isn't goodbye. You're just not going to be here every week.
It's still sad.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of days that I'm not going to be here. It's going to be a long day every Sunday.
Right.
Like I run into Chris every once in a while at events, but I don't run into you.
Right.
Yeah.
We did run. Okay. So Smiley and I I was trying to find something to do because like lately there hasn't been that great of like shows downtown. Yeah. And there's this venue that used to be called Small Engines called the Chunkla now, and our friend runs it. And I saw there was a show on Saturday night, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll bring my lady friend." And I said, one of my friends is playing, and I get there and I realize it's not a music show; it's a noise show.
That's still music.
Smiley loves noise.
Explain.
I do love noise. I love noise. I like electro. I like experimental sound.
Experimental sound.
I mean, that's what I've said this on the show before.
Yeah.
Like my ideal concert is a madman with like red hair and like just wrestling a Rubik's Cube that is just pedals that he's running 2 notes through.
Right. And something really occurred to me on Saturday night that was kind of crazy because like we're there, and from the last 15 years of the Albuquerque, like all these people are there that I kind of know, and then like Raven Chacon shows up.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know who that is that are listening anywhere in the country, Google that name, Raven Chacon.
Oh yeah, or like seriously, listen to the song that he got a Pulitzer for.
Yeah, he won a Pulitzer Prize for music this last year.
Because that is straight noise, and it is weird to see in a full orchestra play a noise song.
And like,
Cool.
and I tell my lady friend, I was like, "Holy shit, Raven Chacon's here!" And she's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "He won the Pulitzer Prize for music." And someone's like, "Oh, they have one for music?" I said, "Yeah." Because like there's a Pulitzer Prize for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, like it hit me today actually, because I was explaining to someone, I was like, have you heard of that book? You Are a Badass.
Yeah.
Huge book. Well, that's someone, my friend Jen Sincero. So like they're also like these people from Albuquerque. So she's like 4 or 5 time New York Times bestseller, and it's just like we were grubby, grimy pieces of shit, and we're all artists, and we're all, five-time best podcast in Albuquerque.
We all make things.
Yeah, and it's like, damn, it's like these are your neighbors, these are your friends, and you just get out there and you do things, and you get out there and you do things, and you're gonna go and you're gonna be a badass.
I hope so.
Yeah.
If not, hopefully all the time I spend with my kids makes them badass.
Well, one way or the other. Roseanne Barr could do it. You could do it.
Oh, jeez.
That's
kind of a low bar. I can do it.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Low Roseanne Barr.
Ooh.
So, this isn't goodbye. This is farewell.
This is see you later. And, you'll see me around town. Oh, God. God damn it.
Yeah, stop that.
It's all right. It's all right. You'll be back.
I'll be back.
You'll be back.
I mean, you can't get rid of me.
No.
Like, I have claimed you guys as family, so you're going to see me one way or the other. But.
And, hit me up, and I'll promote your stuff still on the show. And,
thank you, Chris.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to start doing that. I think I'm going to start promoting, like, different things around Albuquerque coming up that, like local, more local stuff. Like, hey, these bands are playing. You've seen these people on 10 Drink Minimum, and here they are.
Yeah.
They're playing this place, and this place, and try to keep people apprised,
Well, we have so many cool things going on.
I didn't realize, so many people high on the city government of Albuquerque listen to this show. So,
right?
I never seen it like noise.
I've never seen that guy one time at a noise show. And people are like, "What the fuck is a noise show?" Go check one out; it'll change your life. Maybe not in a good way, but one way.
It was amazing. It was amazing. 4 noise groups. I haven't seen that in years, and like Chris Newman made me cry a little bit. It was great.
Okay,
Wow.
It's an experience.
You should come watch Ian play his little keyboard.
He's a noise show. Yeah,
he has a keyboard and drums.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a drummer. To be honest with you, he does pretty good.
Is he like an internationally famous pianist?
Yeah, maybe. He also uses a microphone now because somebody got him a piano with a microphone.
That's pretty smart.
And so he likes to scream into that.
Oh,
well, then maybe future noise musician, future Pulitzer Prize winning
noise musician.
So that's good though. But we're proud of you.
Thanks, guys.
You're gonna do great.
Well, now I'm gonna.
You're going to college, right? Is that what's happening? No, I'm just kidding. But
no,
we're gonna miss you. Everybody's gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Yeah. Everybody hit up Hollyanne on her social media and let her know that she'll be missed.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm not good at goodbyes.
No. Well, it's not. But we'll be back not next Sunday, but the Monday after. I think we're gonna have Josue from I can't even say the band name. I'm not gonna try right now. I'll post it. But we're gonna it'll be Billy's first show back. Mondays from 5 to 7 p.m. is the new time. Yeah. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, come to my open mic on Mondays.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Maybe you'll see me there.
Yeah.
Who knows? With that, we are 10 drink minimum. Aww.
You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat
out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere, you feel free.